Remember that not all readings will resonate with every member of the collective. Today we have an advice reading, and we have the High Priestess as one of our focal point tarot cards. And this is all about hidden mysteries. This is all about hidden knowledge. This is about following intuition. This is about knowing what's going on around you, yet also having the understanding and enlightenment to accept the fact that it is not time to act. You cannot reveal secrets to everyone, and nor are certain issues ready to be revealed to you. You must stay in place and feel things out and understand the way that the universe works and the way that the world works. And sometimes the way that the world works means that we must stay in spot, observe and watch and listen and absorb the information going on around us until there is a certain change in what's going on in our environment with people, places, and things. And when that change occurs, then we know how to act and respond. Today we have a Viking rune reading, and we have Gar, Stan, or Stan, which are two Anglo Saxon runes. We have Manaz from the Elder Futhorc, and we have Perthro from also the Elder Futhark, which actually looks like this. Excuse my homemade runes. And then we have an oracle card. So let's get started off with that. And the oracle card's advice today is the Winter's Veil. Respect the Winter's Veil. It offers protection and conceals important truths. The winter's veil symbolizes the protective and mysterious nature of the season. This card advises you to respect the process of concealment and trust that protection is in place. And here we are with our High Priestess. So, what this Oracle card is advising us today is that we must sit with the knowledge that the universe is working in our favor. That we know that although we're not getting the things that we want immediately in real time, that things will work in our favor. It is time to be protected and wait for hidden truths to be revealed to us. And that is how we are in a place of knowing, which is what the High Priestess is all about. She's in a place of knowing. She knows that things happen for a reason. She can feel things. She's got intuition. She must trust that. And then when events, places, and things are revealed to her, she understands completely why. So let's move into the Viking rune portion of our reading to understand what's going on here. And if you want, you can click on the link below in order to access the full video and the full reading if you're on TikTok, and you will get the full reading as we proceed. So we have Gar, and Gar is usually associated with Odin's spear, the spear that he used in order to sacrifice himself on the tree Yggdrasil, the world tree, in order to receive the wisdom of the Viking runes. In addition to that, the spear is also a magical spear that always hits its target, and it carries all the magic of all of the runes. In addition to that, when Odin throws his spear out into the world or at his target, it always comes back to him. So there's also this sign of karmic behavior. What comes around goes around. What we send out into the universe, we will receive back. So in the most recent past, many of you may have had a target, goal, objective in mind, and you focused your energy in order to harness that goal. However, you must understand that this rune Gar is also usually drawn with a full square in the middle, with the cross. And this is a rune that also is strongly not only associated with the spear of Odin, but also, I think the spear's name is Gungnir, but also it is associated with the world tree Yggdrasil itself. The cross symbolizing the outstretched branches, and usually the square would symbolize the universe or our realm in which our sphere of influence lies, and the outreach that the tree Yggdrasil has into the cosmos for information, for enlightenment, connection to the divine. And when you have Odin sacrificing himself with the spear that's associated with this rune, hanging on the tree of life, which is also associated with this rune, waiting to be a recipient of divine knowledge. And seeing as this rune is in the past position, many of you may have wanted a very swift, quick resolution to a problem that you were trying to solve, or an objective that you had in mind, or a goal, or some type of path that you were pursuing, and yet you were being told that you will receive, yet you must wait patiently for information. In the same manner that the high priestess waits patiently for information and also waits patiently to divulge that information. In the same way that Odin hung from the tree Yggdrasil, sacrificed himself, and had to wait patiently for that information. So there's a certain level of sacrifice that must be made, or must have been made, in order to achieve one's goals. And then we have Stan here, or Stan, also an Anglo-Saxon rune. And Stan is a stone. It represents a blockage, an unsurmountable blockage, something like a mountain in front of you, which poses as a difficulty when you're trying to throw a spear at a target for sustenance, or for some type of goal, and you're blocked by a stone. What is this stone? We must look further in detail. So this stone is also recognized as a solidifying center of the universe, in which all things revolve around. This strong force, a standing stone. Standing stones were seen as some powerful point in which a community can connect with one another. It's also seen as a point of principle in one's life. What are your convictions? What are your strengths? What are you willing to acknowledge about yourself and your surroundings? And what are you willing to move forward with? This is a stone that is forcing absolute reflection. And what I like about this stone is that it actually looks like two perth rows drawn together, connecting to one another, if you can see. And perth row is all about having access to the very well that feeds the tree Yggdrasil. It is perceived as a cauldron, it is perceived as a gambling cup, but is also closely associated with the three Norns, the weaving of fate, and the well of word that feeds and nourishes the tree Yggdrasil. And whenever you get water or nourishment for a cosmic force of nature, you're getting intuitive powers, which are also associated with the high priestess, and you are getting nourishment from spiritual purpose and strength and divine magic. So when you get the stone here and it seems as if it's a blockage, what's really happening here is you are being forced to identify what your convictions are in life, while waiting for the right information necessary to move forward, so that you can utilize that information effectively. In addition to that, the stone can be seen as building a spiritual foundation in your life, a foundation towards whatever future goals you have in mind. It is that point in your life where you need the strength of stone in your character, strength of stone of your foundation, strength of stone of spirituality to move forward. The stone can actually also be used as protection. And we get a lot of that here when we get the trust that protection is in place. So this point in waiting for information, waiting for data, waiting for wisdom, divine connection, waiting for everything to fall together, is part of the universe's process with you before you move forward. And as you move forward, you move into Manaz. And this is an end game rune for you. This is the outcome. And this means that reciprocity, working with others, will bring you success. And Perthrow in reverse here, I can go into detail, but I'm running out of time, is all about not gambling, for one, not taking risks, and understanding that you can't control fate here. And other cards in our reading would be Two of Wands, you wish to move forward, which we've seen in Gar and Stan, and reciprocity, which we see with Manaz, working with people in your community, give and take, being fair, not being greedy. And then we have Four of Swords, resting, thinking about things, contemplating the information as it comes to you. You're not supposed to know the future.